It's time now for This Week in Rock and Roll History, brought to you by Tom Tayback. Take a moment to stroll with us down memory lane to the good old days, those rock and roll gold days.
Hi, everybody. Tom Tayback here. Happy to be your tour guide going back to the days of soda shops and sock hops in the gym. We'll begin with a little Elvis history. In 1954, Billboard magazine runs an article saying this newcomer was a potent rock and roll crooner who could also succeed in the country and R&B markets. 1955, 2 weeks after cracking the R&B top 10, Chuck Berry's Maybelline enters the pop chart at number 23. It'll peak at number 5 and is now considered one of the true pioneering rock and roll singles. 1956, back to Elvis, who releases a double-sided hit, Don't Be Cruel, backed by Hound Dog. It rockets to number 1, where it'll stay for 11 weeks, a record that would not be broken until 1992 by Boys to Men. This one single disc sells over 4 million copies. 1957, the Quarrymen, minus Paul McCartney, who's away at camp, make their first appearance at Liverpool's Cavern Club. Also this week in 1957, Paul Anka makes his first network TV appearance on American Bandstand, where he performs Diana. 1958, Elvis Presley earns another gold record with Hard-Headed Woman. By 2002, he will have sold over 200 million records. 1959, Fats Domino enters the charts with I Want to Walk You Home. 5 weeks after entering the Hot 100, Elvis hits number 1 again with A Big Hunk of Love. This week in 1960, 16-year-old Brian Hyland tops the charts with Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. The same day in England, Decca Records destroys 25,000 copies of a Ray Peterson record, which they said was too tasteless and vulgar to leave on the market. A rival record company seizes on the opportunity and has Tell Laura I Love Her released by a local artist named Ricky Valance. His version actually hits number 1 in the UK. 1962, Robert Zimmerman legally changes his name to Bob Dylan. The same week, a flood of new releases enter the market that will become major hits. Listen to this. You Beat Me to the Punch by Mary Wells. Send Me the Pillow That You Dream On by Johnny Tillotson. Beachwood 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 by the Marvelettes. Don't You Love Me by the Contours. Surf and Safari by the Beach Boys. Green Onions by Booker T and the MGs. And my favorite, Ahab the Arab by Ray Stevens. Okay, quick. What was the camel's name? Clyde. 1963 Beach Party with Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello opens in the theaters. And lastly, this week in 1965, Mike Smith, vocalist and keyboard player for the Dave Clark Five, is pulled off the stage by overzealous fans.
If this is your kind of music, you'll love my rock and roll showcase, featuring trivia and stories about the rock and roll stars along with their charted hit singles at Podomatic.com or on YouTube. Podomatic.com or YouTube. Just search Tom Tayback. That's Tayback. Rock and roll is here to stay, baby.